Hello, hello.
Hello, beautiful. Sorry about my
Don't be. It's all good.
yeah,
Stuff happens. All
probably did.
good. But I got out nice and early, so I didn't have. I took X-rays, and I didn't need to have anything but scale and clean
Oh, good.
because I have got sore gums at the moment, but that's it. But the teeth are nice, clean.
You can feel it, right?
Yeah, you know they feel all the sharp edges at the back, at the bottom.
Exactly. Cool, cool, cool.
All good.
Now,
How are you?
I'm very good. Wait to have my new office. Once I have the new office, you can come over and then we'll.
Where's your new office? At home? Love to.
Futuristic one, so come over and see what you get. So that's so okay. Now, so far, how's the coaching going for you?
So I haven't done any pro bono. I have started back doing some study though, which is good. So I've got back on into my Moodle, which is awesome. Not fast, but a little bit. I have sat down and kind of had a look at my time and see how time poor I am. But Remy, the head of TCI, is like, if you really want to be a coach, then you'd be giving up your full-time job.
When you don't have an income.
Don't have an income. So what does that mean? So it means that you'd be hungry to make sure that you get it. Well, that's not really very safe. That's not realistic.
Not realistic, because that's not what my coach told us. Like, you know, when we want to burn the boat, so-called, to really leave our full-time job or whatever employment, even you're making sales and things like that. She said, he said, talk to me before you burn the boat, because he was the optometrist, my coach. He was an optometrist and he has gone through that. So for any of us,
it's a process. It's a slow process.
Exactly.
It's a couple of years that I see, or more, that I see people before they're really, you know, like that Jessie jumps on. But I have to tell you, I lose, whether it's my story, but it's not the kind of coach I want to be. I think that if I ever transition into a business coach because I become successful and I've got the ingredients and I know the overwhelm and the whole business to get there, I wouldn't be bragging about what I earn. I question people that go, oh, I'm earning 50,000 a day, or 20,000 a day, or I've got, gone from 10,000K a week to 90,000 K. Like, is that showing? That to me is just, it's all about the money. It's all about, look at me. I don't know. I could be reading it wrong, or maybe I shouldn't be so judgmental. But that's how it lands for me. And that's not the kind of coach I'd want to be.
Jessie, is it?
My success and your success mightn't be the same. To put that pressure on people to say, you can do this, 90, look at me. Not everybody will be able to do that. But I bet you she's not telling everybody about all the support people that she has behind the scenes to get her there. They're getting her calls for her. She's paying out money to people to help. And good on her. I'm not saying no. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying no, but not everybody's in a position that they can do that yet. So I've kind of lost a lot of respect for that lady.
Anyway, she's a business coach now, isn't it?
She's a business coach.
Yeah, that's what most of the business coach nowadays like. Look at me, I'm making so much money.
Look at me. Yeah, come over here, pay me lots of money so I can brag about earning lots of money.
But didn't you see my post? Like, my coach actually gave me the P100, no, not P100, the six-figure club. That's the amount.
That's an accolade in itself. Six-figure, but you're not going, look at me with 150K for the week or 150K for the month. You're not doing that, right? You've got your acknowledging that you've got success And that's in a very respectful way. You're not actually saying the figure, but you're saying, hey, it's possible. You know, whichever end of the six you're at, good for you, right? It doesn't really matter. The fact is that you're taking the action steps and you're doing it, and it's a great honor for you, a great accolade or acknowledgement for you, and that's beautiful. Different. I don't know. That's just my view, right? That's all that is. It's my view. I just find that to be, for all that we are meant to be, if we're from pure of heart and from spirit and stuff, yes, I believe that we're worth whatever you want to charge yourself. There's no judgment there. You do whatever you think you're going to be, whatever you're worth, whatever you are worth, you know, for you. But it's not something that should be as a competition or making people feel inadequate if they can't make that figure. So better that you say, well, what's 10K is 5 figures, right? So 5-figure coach is anything with a 5 digits. So when you get up into the hundreds, that's your six-figure coach. 7 is your million, yeah?
So what does she call herself?
Quantum Queen. That's that one that...
No, I know. Like, I think somehow, like, you know how it works. I told you how to fan farm. So because I'm connected to you, that's probably why she, you know, added me as a friend.
Yeah.
How the Facebook algorithm works.
Oh yeah, no, I get all of the tricky stuff that we got to do. I get it. It's still a business at the end of the day. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying, and I'm also not that you know, you don't charge money for stuff. You know, I'm so spiritual that I should be doing it for free because it's for higher good. No. Money's energy, like you say. Like our man. What's his man? The book. What was the book you got me onto? I can't remember his name.
Honda.
Yeah. You know, it is energy. I believe that. And yes, we do all have different mindsets around money, how we were raised. Money was always hard. My mum and dad had to work hard. They were never rich. Everything came to them late. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But then what lesson do you think you learned when you look at Jessie?
So there's some good things I can take away from what she's doing, and I'll value that. There's some beautiful things about her. But that is not the kind of coach that I want to be. So she's showing me what it is my value. We're not a value aligned. That's what all that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're not value aligned, and that's okay.
Oh, I do set my alarm at 7 o'clock. What did I do? Huh. You see, it's the mind telling a lie. I said, Eve is at 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock. In fact, my alarm just went up 7 o'clock. Sorry.
That's okay.
How the mind
I didn't send a reminder. We didn't change it on our calendars.
No, we did. I changed it. It's in my calendar. That's what my phone is.
Stuff happens.
Yeah, but my apologies. Like, it's not your fault. So, okay, what is the lesson? Because I can feel the anger is like, so does she do it in the closed group or she just do it publicly?
Oh, she does it in her closed groups. So
you're still in her closed group?
I'm not in there much at all these days. I was there for a while, still promoting and still, you know, I was promoting. I'm for everybody. I want everyone to be successful.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm getting at. It's just, I just think that some people hide behind, I'm, you know, spiritual and a good person, and you have to self-promote. That's not what I'm saying. Well, I don't even know what I'm saying. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Well, as you say, no matter what.
Just a different view. Different view. That's all. I just feel
it's not like her students, she coaching and how much they are making each day. Is more just in general that people might not be actively coaching by her. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because in our group, we share how much we make for the day. It's just like we are all coaches, but it's not necessarily like, you know, you are a client. So she's not coaching you as a coach.
Well, I was a client.
Sorry?
Of her. I was a client of hers for some program that she sold me.
Yeah.
And you get access to everything, business and whatever. You know, she'll. That's all right. That's all good. It's just different. I guess that's all. It's just different views. But I look, you know, I guess it's come from that the working in the industry I am with the industry. It's always been that you don't discuss what you earn because it creates a lot of tension within the team. People get jealous, people get envious, people are, you know, like, why is she getting more hours? Why is she getting so much more money than me? There's all that, you know. I guess it's different with a wage, as in entrepreneurial shit.
Yeah.
And I get that. When I really break it down, it really doesn't matter. I don't even know why I raised it.
But what is the lesson here for you though? You were triggered by like how she show off. All right, that's her choice. We don't have control of it. But what is the lesson you learn from here?
And it's none of my business.
It's none of your business, but there's an emotion there. We need to understand. I'm helping you, like, you know, you last week you did really good. It was like, wow, I managed so well. But now there's another emotion you woke of feeling.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's my feeling of inadequacy. Maybe it's because how does she do it and I can't get it? Stop bragging about it. I don't really want to my nose rubbed in it because I can't get there. Maybe it's that. Truth be known, the human is coming out. That's all.
But is it you can't get there, or you're just not there yet?
I'm just not there yet. It's nice. I should never say I can't get there. I haven't really made much effort. So I don't know if I can or can't. So I shouldn't be saying I can't.
So in order for you to get to,
can.
You can. So in order for you to get to 6 figures, what do you think that you will need to do?
I have to get into action. I have to do my pro bono. I've got to start putting a plan together and what prices I want to put together and have a package together.
Mm-hmm.
I know what I've got to do. I know what I've got to do.
And when are you going to do it?
Do I have a package? No. Do I know what the package looks like? No. But yeah, I know what I have to do. Or I know what I want to do. I just got to get into action steps and build it and not worry about if it's right or wrong and just go for it.
So when are you going to do it? You know what you need to do, but when? The intention is all good.
Yeah, well, that's right. So I've got to action. I need action. Oh, I don't know. I know that I have to get into action. When am I going to do it? I have to do my chapter book first. I'm excited about that.
Well, we have a few more spots to fill, then we'll start. So don't worry about the chapter.
Right. So package. So what am I going to do? I need to get people into my private page and start promoting that for a start, and then put a package together to see if I can't get, you know, like what you did in the start, like, you know, pro bono or free webinar for however many weeks, and then try and on sell from there. I'll see if I can't start getting paid clients. Yeah.
And what is it that the first step you need to do after our call today?
Sit down and put down what I want to actually deliver.
Good. Don't laugh. Like
what's the message? What's the message I want to put out to?
Every time I ask you what action you want to take,
Yeah.
Is that going to help you to build your confidence when you're laughing at yourself?
I know.
In order for you to feel confident, to help you to become more confident, what do you think you need to do?
Action. I got to get into action.
Yeah. So let's break it down, because you want to be a 6-figure coach, but like, as you know, it's not overnight we'll get to 6 figures.
Yeah.
You can. As you say, I know I can. But what is the first step and the small step you can take in all the while you're still working for somebody to have a pro bono? What will be the first step you need to do after you hang up this on this call?
Put it out there on Facebook for free pro bono. Some clients. What is it that I want to put? What is it? So there's where my block is. So I go, well, what am I going to do? Then I've got to go back and look in your page and see, righto, oh, you've done it. So I'll borrow your tools for a little bit till I work out what, put it together.
And just one step ahead. Remember, I sent you in your messenger. You need to tell your friends that I'm launching my program.
Yeah.
Can you help me to like my post when I post it?
Yeah, I haven't done that.
Mm.
So look, I know that it's my procrastination. It's not even overwhelm, it's procrastination. Self-sabotage, don't know if that's the word, but there's something blocking me. That's what I've got to unpack.
Yeah. Okay, let's unpack that. Who is blocking you?
No one but me, because there's no one else stopping me. I'm not taking the steps. I'm not taking any steps, little steps. I'm taking little steps. I shouldn't say that I'm not taking those steps, because I am. And I have to acknowledge how far I've come. Oh, you'll be so proud of me. That lady last week, remember I told you the staff member that was challenging and really rude? She's the same with everybody. But she was particularly bad with me on Tuesday. And I walked away. I took the student I was training, and I walked away. We went and had a look around the hospital. And he was asking me questions because it was quite uncomfortable the way she was. And so I just was the professional, put the professional hat on and went, like I talked about this in the classroom, that you get this where people have their own junk stuff, limiting beliefs, jealousies, inadequacies, insecurities. We're in her territory. She's stomping a territory, and that's okay. There's no ego here. I'm happy to give it to her. She can have it all. And walked away. But it's when she starts picking on other people that I won't tolerate that. Yeah, I'll make sure that I make mention to her, or to whoever, or the way she actually. And then what showed up to me was all the years, and I think I spoke about it last week, was all the years that you sit back and you go, what have I done wrong? Why are they like this? It's why me? And when you realize that it's not you, it's never been you. It's other people's stuff. They haven't dealt with their own, whatever it is that they get triggered with. The upsets, the fear, the overwhelm, the everything. There's so many people walking around like wounded animals. They need us, Catherine.
I want to give the message out there.
Yeah. So maybe that's something I need to discuss, is triggers. What's a trigger? How to recognize your own triggers. How to deal with a trigger. What happens when you do get triggered? Do you become a reactor? Or do you go, okay, thanks for showing up?
Are you referring to the trigger from the person at work, or are you referring to your last coach?
Well, that's a trigger, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that trigger for that was, I guess, the way she turned on me. She was the one who was triggered, like thinking that I was trying to steal her work or take her clients, or the way she became abusive. It was a totally different person. This very soft, gentle person, all spiritual, went feral. And I guess and to show up to accuse me of something that's not, wasn't anywhere near what I was in. It was what I was doing. But yeah, so she did react, but then I've reacted to her reaction. But it's not fair. So that's something that plays up in my life. Life's not fair. So I'm aware of that.
So what's not fair then?
Hey?
What's not fair in life?
What's not fair? I'm okay now. Not life's not. What's not fair? They're just triggers from when I was 15, when I was being accused. So there it comes back to kids, doesn't it? I'm not a kid anymore, so that's what I deal with.
So as a
It comes
kid,
back to having something bad happen and then being accused of doing something bad that I never did.
Oh, how old were you at that time?
I was 15, so I had the incident with my dad, and in that same week, I'd been wagging school as a result of what was going on anyway, that he wasn't talking to anyone. I'd been wagging school, and my mum was really protective of all of us, didn't want me to leave, and I was always given the responsibility to look after the boys. So I was wagging school, so I got into trouble for that. And then the girlfriend I was hanging out with there was two boys that were interested in us, and nothing happened. I didn't even kiss this boy. I was 15. But my mum was accusing me of sleeping with the guy, with the kid, and my dad, the week before, had been creeping into my room. Not that he slept with, did anything, but he nearly did, right?
No, your dad slipped into your room
3 nights in a row. And
yeah, go on.
yeah, so the 3 nights in a row. The first night was the cat. The second night, the sheet was down. The third night, the sheet was further down. His hand was just in the top edge of my panties. So the intent was there, and so he put me in a state of breaking my trust and betrayal. Even though he didn't touch me, the intent was there to do that. And then he came back into the room going, "I'm really sorry, I didn't mean it, blah, blah, blah." So therefore he was making it like it was something. I was 40 when I confronted my dad, Catherine, and asked him what that was about. And he said he didn't want me to get pregnant like my mum did at 15. And Rick, my little brother, was with me, and he goes, "That's bullshit, Dad. What happened to sitting on the edge of the bed with your daughter talking about the birds of the beef?" But what that did to me for that time was this bright, bubbly young lady, beautiful young lady, had a high intent. I wanted to become a child psychologist. That's what I wanted to do, because I knew the impact of having a family that didn't have support of other people around them, and my mum being the kid, raising kids, and the damage that adults can do with their own crap on a child, right? When you're as a child, you don't have the resources or the know-how to process anything or to deal with those sorts of emotions. And they're your big people, right? They're the people you trust. And so my dad breached my trust, and I went from this effervescent, bright, bubbly young girl starting to like boys to introverted, not trusting my father, feral. I was horrible. I was horrible to him. When I look back, I went from I would snap at him, I would always disrespect. I had no respect for him. And I grew up with that. From that moment on, I didn't have much regard for my dad. So, and then my mum didn't trust me, accusing me of sleeping with, a boy. Then the school had called at 15. So the school had called my mum to say I was wagging, and I'd failed English. And because I failed English, I got an E in English. I went, and this is what got me. They'd only have to have looked at my record to see that I wasn't straight A, like my middle brother was a straight A student, didn't have to study. I had to work hard. I would have been A, B, C's, average student. but I was still smart, but I was more into the social aspect of school because we moved around so much. I wanted to fit in, you know, so I wasn't focused academically. Not as an adult. Like as an adult, I'm showing up, you know, very different when I study. Well, not this time around. I'm like that adolescent, not wanting to study. But yeah, so when I was dragged up to school, I had all the shame of what my dad did, shame of my own feelings and inadequacies, my mum not trusting me, and then having to be a failure in amongst that and repeat from year 11 or form 4 back then. Had to repeat from 4, and I'm sitting there with the headmaster with a black eye, and my mum had hit me in a temper, and no questions, because they didn't question. Nobody thought to think, well, hang on a minute, how has this student gone from A, B's, and a few C's to C's, D's, and E's and not tending class? No one ever thought to think, maybe we need to talk to this child. You know, I found that very, as an adult now, I'm like, seriously, I hope they still don't do that in schools. Because there's all the warning signs, something's not right.
Exactly.
So, you know, I was a year then of just total withdrawn, didn't hang out with my friends because I didn't want to talk to anybody. Because if I spoke, I was one that liked to communicate and I would share stuff. But people would always look at me like I was, because I would make it a joke. So my coping mechanism when I spoke, it would always be a joke. So people never believed the pain was as real as it was because I'd always make it look lighter than it was, where people would even question if it was even true because I'd be laughing. Yeah.
Yep.
That's just how I dealt with it.
Okay. Now, with all your intent, let's look at it from a positive side. As an adult you right now, what would you thank your 15 years old? How would you thank her?
Wow. I could have run away from home. I could have got into drugs. I could have been an alcoholic. I may not have been as successful in career as I was. I thank myself for being able to process stuff and push it to the front, smart brain, and move on. And I was able to do that by myself. So I should be really proud of that young lady.
Okay. So can you feel how proud you are now?
Yeah, well, that's probably how I've dealt with all of the traumas in my life and not be a mess. There was one time that it did get me, you know, in my life with my second husband, where I nearly had a breakdown because of the abuse and you know. But but I'm still I am strong.
Okay.
I'm a strong woman, resilient. I'm a strong, resilient woman.
Would you write that down as your affirmation? Every time you feel. Okay, I want you to end that.
I want to thank you, because it wasn't until last week with the previous Eve would have gone, dating, right? Nobody likes me. There's something wrong with me. I'm too short. I'm too fat. I couldn't, all that crap, right? When you go, oh, you're a desired woman. Hell yeah. But all these dates, like potential dates I have, it's me saying yes and no. I went, I am a desired woman. I am smart. I am worthy of great love. And I am patient enough to wait. And I will date to evaluate. Not just stick with one. I'm going to date people and get to know them.
Have you written all this down?
Okay.
And also notice the state that you are in, your emotion. Help you to feel it and hold on to it. This is your new belief. is it's not about the strategy, it's about how much you believe in yourself now. Can you feel the
Yeah.
difference when you talk about I am? When you were
Yeah.
talking about your mom, my mom didn't believe in me, so you're in a different state to now that I am disciple. I am.
Yeah. 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 Resilient. Yeah. And today, like we had a whole heap of people coming into the school. I don't know people from a bar of soap, but what they saw today was who I am, because I'm always in the classroom. They don't see me with people. So today we had a whole bunch of 30 people walking into the centre. They were doing, it's not in my course area, but they were doing a promotion for all the lab tech.
Oh, the
And they were
opening.
all of the contractors from construction, CMT, I can never remember what that means, but anyway, but it's all to do with the construction side of stuff for the lab test, soil testing and stuff. So there were those sorts of people coming in, and the BDM was there trying to greet them all. And because he was doing it so slowly, my boss was going, oh, it's too slow. So I stepped in. I went, Anthony, you might want me to help? And he goes, yeah. And so I've just shown up like, hi, how you doing? My name is Eve. Welcome to LTT. You know, like, and he's like blown. He called me aside. He goes, oh my God, you were on fire, girl. I said, well, you know, that's my jam. I'm really good with people, and I'm, you know, I know what it's like when you walk into a place that you're not sure of, and then nobody helps or supports. So, you know, that's my thing. People are my thing. So they saw a side of me they wouldn't normally see, because I'm always in the classroom with the people, and anyone else in the company don't know what I'm like with people. So I was really quite proud of myself.
On you. Then you need to have that journal of the proud moment journal to remind yourself how great you are.
Yeah. Yeah, and how quickly I can bounce back from stuff, you know, like even if I even to a point like that Kelly issue, I was aware of her triggers. I was actually aware that her triggers were showing up quite, and even the reason why, instinctively, intuitively, I kind of knew down to the reason why she's the way she is. But it's not my problem to solve. It's something her journey. And all I could do was be gentle, where I could have been a reactor to her reaction, and the way she was blatantly trying to cause trouble, going to the boss of Monash, you know, like right there, and trying to stab me in the back while I'm there. She does it to everybody. You know, it's just her nature.
Not very
Sad
nice.
as it, not nice. Quite toxic, but that's something now that I've left in a space of how do you deal with people like that? How can I make a difference to that to make her better? But it's not my job to do that. But how do I show her in a way that it can reflect to her, so she can actually stop and go, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. How do you do that, Catherine?
Well, the only thing is when there's a problem, she need to deal with herself. But when she doesn't see there's a problem, as you say, it's not your job to solve it for her. So the fact is how to manage a difficult person. How would you suggest it to manage a difficult person?
Yeah.
Because you have dealt with a lot of difficult personality before.
Absolutely. But well, that's what I did, was pull her aside and actually have a conversation with them. So I asked if she'd sit down and we could have a conversation. And even though she was screaming at me saying, oh, I'm not going to talk to you. That's when I sent the students out, and I went, no, Kelly, we need to clear this. There's obviously something that's bothering you. What is it? You know?
So after that talk, how is she doing with you?
She would, even the students noticed the difference. They went, they thanked me. And so things had settled down and she was calmer. She even sat and had morning tea and afternoon lunch break with us. But that was last week. And this week, Tuesday, she was back to the same personality. But it was at everybody. It wasn't running to, she was talking about everybody. Nothing to not, she would name drop and say bad things about everyone. She not a nice character. I just walked away.
Now, going back to where you were saying, I am the affirmation.
I am strong. I am resilient. I am desirable.
For knowing that, how is that you will use it to help you to build your coaching business?
No. The knockbacks aren't going to shatter me. It's just another opportunity to look at it another way to try and go at a different angle. When I speak down with people, resilient, you need it for business. Because it's going to be a roller coaster ride, I'm sure.
Not necessarily a roller coaster, but it's like, how do we steadily build that up?
Yeah, steady, and you've got to have resilience for that. Desirable, I guess I could say I am charismatic. And so therefore, because I'm good with people, so that's a good trait to have if you're going into business dealing with people.
Yeah.
And I have the experience. I'm past that. Do I need the piece of paper? The piece of paper, where's the piece of paper come from? You want to see how many certificates I have. It's like I need the piece of paper to prove that I can do it. But who am I trying to prove it to? Me?
Wow, what a haha moment.
I need the piece of paper to tell me that I can do it when I already know how.
But can you see that little girl is like, I'm no good. But now you realize that you just like, what's the point for me to doing all this certification?
Yeah. It'll be something that I can build upon to get down to penny knowledge as I grow. And when I get stuck with a client trying to help them with their needs or whatever wants or whatever they need to achieve, I have all those resources with TCI. Yeah. And the people and my network and my beautiful network around me, like, hey, Catherine, what do I do with this? Or, how do I deal with somebody showing up this way? How can I help them? I mean, that's the whole idea of building yourself a network and the right network of people. But people that believe in you. All those naysayers, all those jealous people, all those people that my mum would say was tall poppy syndrome. And I couldn't get why people would do that. Try and cut you down rather than see you shine. If you shine too bright, they try and, I don't know, is it because they feel inadequate? It's like Kelly. So I'm shining too bright. I'm getting reviews from students. She's been there 3 years. I've been there a year and a half. And I'm actually getting my name mentioned on their website. So there's a bit of that, where mine's just happening naturally. It's not forced. It's not asked for. It's just coming. Which is then I've got to take that as a pat on the back for myself that I'm showing up the way I want to show up. I'm making a difference.
And then what would that be? By showing up to make a difference?
And I know that I'm doing a good job for people. And that's what I want to do, make a difference. People value and respect me, and it's building credibility and word of mouth from that. Then that good things will come from that too. When I start tapping into those resources, like you said, those students, when they leave, they're no longer students. That's my market.
You see how the idea is coming now. Once you let go of the old self, then things are flooding.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely helps. And I think what happened with Kelly's was a good thing, because it helped me see that what used to happen, it's given me the how and why it happened, which has given me more clarity and understanding of how, if you're not in a good space, or if you've got too many limiting beliefs, or you've got so full of self-doubt, lack of self-esteem, how somebody else showing up the way Kelly shows up can be detrimental. But it's in your own thinking. It's not that person. That person's the way that person is. I feel sorry for her. She's got work to do, we know it, but it's not my problem to solve. Where once upon a time I would be trying to please, be really super friendly, over the top with people like that to get them to, because I felt like it was my sole responsibility to make them, one, like me, or work out what was wrong with them to help them.
You only can help those who want to get help.
Yep. And they're the only people I want to attract.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you will come.
You know, the people that value learning, the people that value continuous growth and development, bring them on. That I want to help them with. I'm happy to help them and be the bridge, or whatever it is that it needs to take to help them improve themselves, because they want to. Not blaming everybody else for the circumstances of being stuck in victimhood. Although many of us have been there too, right? We've all been there at one point in our lives. We're human.
Exactly.
But it's about having the network and the support around you to help you grow from that, to recognize that, be the mirror. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have to impress the bullies. I need to be with people that believe in me.
You don't need people approval, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a lot of work to do.
But are you enjoying it? Is it something that you're passionate about?
I am enjoying it.
So follow your passion.
Yeah.
So it won't become a day of work for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And now even work are now helping. So how's that? It's finally shown up. They've got somebody else to come aboard to help.
Oh, okay. How is it that they're getting someone to come on board and help you?
So they've got an extra person on to do all the clinical work. So when she's not working at Monash or out taking clinical placement, and she's in the centre, she'll be in the classroom helping me with, or helping them with whichever class it falls on. Won't be consistent, but it's a start. Better than what we've had, right?
Well, you were just doing one-man show.
One-man show. So now they'll come in. The only problem is it is that Kelly as well. There'll be times that she'll have to come in, and she doesn't want to come into Fitzroy because she doesn't like driving. So she comes in with the anger mode on and a bit of attitude, but that's okay. I can deal with that.
That's not your problem.
No.
It's her boss that, you know.
Yeah, it's her boss's problem.
when she show up so badly, eventually there will be a student to complain. It's like we pay
Yeah.
money to do it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Absolutely. Yeah, so that's that.
So far, what we spoke about, what do you think you're the most passionate about in terms of coaching?
What's passionate about? I think what I'm passionate about would be supporting people to actually be their best selves. Yeah, who want to become a better version of themselves, and grow and develop, and personal development. So I'd like to focus on personal development, giving them tools, showing them, that would be my webinars. One-on-one coaching, yeah, using all the coaching modalities that we have. My God, there's so many. But and helping people clear their limiting beliefs so they believe in themselves. At the end of the day, that's the only person you need to believe in, isn't it? Trust your higher self, the source, God, whatever that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything else will come. Gotta believe in yourself.
Something, isn't it? Coming together for you. Then it's like, how would you package that and let people know?
Personal development would be whatever they wanted to work on, whether that's confidence, self-esteem, limiting beliefs. There's a lot. Relationships. It's the whole wheel of life. That's what I'll be playing with. I love the wheel of life.
Well, that's the start. If
That's
you're
a
doing
tool.
life coaching and not using Wheel of Life, then what is life coaching about?
That's everything, isn't it? Mind, body, soul, Catherine. It's not just one aspect. If one's out, it's all out. It's like our hormones, isn't it? Like if you've got one of the systems shutting down or broken, the whole body's out of balance. The endocrine system, your diabetes, you're not producing insulin, everything else is out of kilter. Everything. It's not just the diabetes, it's not just the pancreas, it's every endocrine system, it's every thyroid, everything. Everything's out.
Then how would you apply
Mind's out.
coaching?
When we're too busy in here, you can't feel anything else. You can't get you be in balance with your mind, heart, and sacral chakra, or whatever you want to call it. You need pure alignment. You need to be able to be so crystal clear with everything and healthy for you to feel that source. Most of us are walking around so asleep and damaged, we don't hear anything. But this chatter.
Okay. So it's from a health perspective with your life coaching. Then how would you put that? Just put it slowly together. It's not like you have to come up everything, but just start writing. Without balance, it's just like, as I mentioned, without balance, we can't live a life.
Well, you can't live a full life. Yeah. I need to make up a name, change the wheel of life to something else. So it's easy. Yeah.
Okay. So we have got onto something, isn't it?
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Yeah, good.
The most important thing is you need to be certain.
Yeah, I feel good about that. I think that I've been leaning into that wheel for a while, and then in that way, at least each individual gets to focus on an area that's important to them. Yeah, rather than saying we're going to do this today. Now, what's important to you? Career might be okay, but relationship may work. Or yeah, I guess that's how it's got me on my journey of romance, is because that was not good on the wheel, my wheel. That would have been the lowest number.
Okay. Now you got something on. Oh, what I want you to do from now on is, from each session, I want you to bring a question. Bring a question to the coaching session. In helping in your personal life or helping in terms of building your business, I want you to think about it, to bring it to here so that
Yeah.
you have the ownership. So now you really enter into coaching, not mentoring.
Okay. Okay.
You can feel that, right?
Yeah.
Where you're heading is much more, the clarity is like the action that is doing your personal work, but now you have the outline, then you just keep building it. Doesn't need to be perfect. I mean, if I show you my, genie model now, will be very different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we continue to evolve, we continue to get better.
Yeah. I guess that's it.
Mm.
And more pure here.
Exactly.
More clarity here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Fantastic. All right. So I think you have plenty to work on. It's just, as you say, how to carve out the time to get yourself to reach your goal.
Which is still down and managing my time, right?
Yeah.
And that I need to. Yeah. Can be done.
Good. All right. Then it is not like how fast you do it. Is you do it in your own pace, because we all are at different pace. Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to do something that is at your own pace and you feel comfortable with. We can share our wins, but doesn't mean they have to show everyone the figures, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. What a difference that is. It's sort of like, how can I describe it? The difference between showing off and being humble. I'm being a beacon. I'm being a role model, but I'm not bragging about it. I'm going, this is what I've done, and you too, it's possible, but it's not going, you got to look at me, I'm doing this number, and making somebody else feel or trigger somebody into, oh my God, I don't think I'll ever be able to do that. Or, it brings up their stuff. It can bring up people's stuff. Or the opposite, or make somebody so super competitive.
It pretty much is just the milestone, isn't it?
Yeah, and like you said, it's everyone's race is different. It's not even a race. Everybody's journey is different. And as a life coach, we've got to respect that. And it's about respect and self-respect. Yeah.
Yeah. Incongruence, that's what you're saying.
Congruency. That's it. Being congruent. That's the word.
So it's pretty much, what you see me on Facebook, that's me in real life.
Yeah. And that's I want to be, that's whoever, whatever, it's me. Catherine, I mumble my words, and sometimes I'm really eloquent, sometimes I'm not, I get mumbly. But that's who I am. And that's okay. I'm going to embrace that, all my little quirky bits. Because there's only one of me, there's only one of you.
A fun Eve.
That's what makes us special, right?
Exactly.
Awesome. Love your work, Catherine.
Good on you. Remember, you are the one who putting all the work together.
Oh, yeah, but I got your support and your help and your mentorship and everything. So I love it. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you too. Okay. So anything else for today?
I think we're done for today.
Fantastic. All right. So the wheel of life from there to build with your medical knowledge, because no one can talk
Yeah.
about those in how you can apply into your life with a metaphor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Scribble it down. Okay.
Excellent. So I'll see you next week, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, back to normal.
Fantastic. I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you next week. Okay. Take care. Bye.
Yeah. You too. See ya. Have a good week.